Evidently, it's time that I make some sort of a clarification video on here in terms of my whatever I put out here. I'm getting lots of private responses for some reason, agreeing with me or not on various points, and perhaps I have not made myself clear on several issues. So I want to make it very clear in this video what I'm actually arguing for or against. First of all, I am not a what you would call an Obama bot or a blind supporter of the Obama presidency as a whole. I am a very skeptical person, always have been, and for me it was a choice between two evils, basically, and I'm not sure if I chose the lesser one at this point, to tell you the truth. GW was probably the height of American hypocrisy, but it was a good point in terms of pointing out and making it known to the rest of the world just how far this hypocrisy goes. And this seems to be continuing with the Obama administration. So no, I'm not in support of what they're doing. Quite the contrary. In fact, I'm pushing back. Not in the Republican mainstream way, mainstream, main party, Republican versus Democrat. It's all bullshit. The parties in this country are so corrupted, it no longer basically makes any damn difference whom you vote for, because everybody is bought and paid for. And this is probably the rage that is out there for most everybody that I know, that is being expressed in so many ways. What I would like to caution against is a corporate response, a corporate media kind of engineered response towards this particular administration in general. This has nothing to do with socialism, communism. It's idiotic. These talking points coming from the GOP, and I'm not being partisan here. I'm just being realistic. Okay, it's totally idiotic. Obama is not a socialist. If anything, he is acquiescing to corporate interests, while the other side, for show purposes, is proclaiming that he's, the new coming of socialism or communism or fascism or whatever. It's all a ruse. Forget about all this shit. Forget about all these names, all these labels. Forget about it. All of what you hear in the mainstream is basically nothing but posturing and trash, furthering another election along, which actually doesn't even amount to an election anymore. What we are faced with in this country is basically our own destruction. Our own destruction. And it's partially our own fault. It's not just the mainstream media. It's also the blogs and everything out there. Everything is up for grabs now. And there is no more balance between the executive branch, the legislative branch, the judicial branch, because everything is controlled by the corporate elite. And unless you understand that very thing, which is fundamental, and this is precisely what our founding fathers warned us against. Unless you understand this, we cannot come together as a people to fight this or to fight against this. We will peter off into fractions of pro-corporate or religious or non-religious or atheist or whatever, you know. And we will go for the next populist that comes along and promises us the next best thing. The one thing that needs to be done in this country is fundamental campaign finance reform. It has to be done so that no major corporate interest is involved in supplying both parties with their monies. And no, it's not the unions. The unions in the United States, perhaps, what the hell? The unions represent 15% of the people? Give me a break. And the unions have been co-opted by the corporates, so, you know, it's hardly an argument. The corporate entities must be prevented from spending more money on campaigns in this country. And furthermore, this entire notion of net neutrality is absolutely essential to the cooperation between people in this country. What the corporate people are doing now is to paint this whole net neutrality thing as a bad thing. It is not a bad thing. Corporate takeovers have been going along for the last 30 years. And this is what these guys are seeking. They're seeking to dominate the net so that every independent voice will be silenced unless you have the money to pay for it. You know, if you can afford $30 per month to look at your independent channel, well, great. You know, if you are less wealthy or just middle class, dwindling, of course, then you can go with a program. You know. So that means you're going to get Fox News, you're going to get CNN, you're going to get ABC and NBC and MSNBC for that matter, and corporate drones endlessly posing as news on the internet from this point on. Everybody should be opposed to this kind of bullshit, and the FCC alone needs to be challenged. And no, Glenn Beck and Fox News and all the major networks are not your friends in this fight. Everybody is saying, oh, well, you know, it's maybe this net neutrality thing is a bit overblown, you know. We should just, everybody has to have a voice, and let's just get it all out on the internet, you see? This is what they're telling you. And you're believing this stuff after what you've seen on television today, this is what you want your networks, your internet to become? There must be massive opposition to this shit. And I can't tell you enough how important this is, because all of our voices on here will be curtailed massively. You will no longer see our little channels on YouTube, on the internet, or elsewhere, because other channels, just like on cable television, will be delegated to channel 144. And if you don't have that subscription, oh, sorry, you couldn't watch it. This is serious shit, folks. So get behind it and get involved. Thanks.